Parents, are you desperate to break free from the endless cycle of sickness, congestion, spring allergies, itchy eyes, medications, and unanswered questions about your child's health struggles? As parents, we've all been there. Your child is constantly battling colds, coughs, congestion, other illnesses that just don't seem to go away. Every little bit of congestion turns into a full-blown cold and respiratory infection that's supposed to go away in a few days, but seems to last for months instead. Even when they're not sick, they're not really healthy, and you know it. You've tried over-the-counter medications, visited pediatricians, and got prescribed antibiotics, but the sickness cycle relentlessly continues. I know, it's exhausting, it's frustrating, and you can't help but wonder, isn't there a better way to build my child's resilience instead of just shutting down the symptoms? The truth is that repeatedly suppressing those symptoms with over-the-counter medications or prescriptions actually weakens the body's defense system long term. But there's a way to address the root cause and unlock your child's natural ability to adapt and thrive. It's an approach focused on supporting the nervous system function. Now, this nervous system function is the master control center of all the cells, all the tissues, all the organs, and that includes the immune system. This video is for parents desperate to break free from the endless cycle of sickness, medications, and unanswered questions about your child's health struggles. In this video, you'll discover how early stressors like C-section births, colic, torticollis, plagiocephaly, and eczema can disrupt the nervous system and immune system regulation, weakening immunity and setting the stage for recurring ear infections, chronic colds and coughs and asthma and allergies and so much more. And most importantly, you'll learn about a drug-free, neurologically focused solution to restore balance and build lasting resilience for your child. I want to share a story with you about a 6-year-old that we'll call Amelia. Amelia was sick every 4 to 5 weeks. Amelia's frequent colds were frustrating to her parents. Now, according to her parents, they seem to have everything under control regarding their daughter's health. Amelia was getting great sleep. She was eating diet-rich whole foods, avoiding seed oils, taking probiotics. Yet Amelia's frequent colds made her miss so many days of school that she almost got held back from kindergarten because she was approaching that threshold, for attendance. Now, eventually, Amelia's parents learned about neurologically focused chiropractic care and decided to schedule a consultation for their daughter. Now, within weeks, Amelia's health, it improved. 2 years later, Amelia is a happy second grader who rarely gets sick. And when she does, the length and severity of her colds are much less than what they were before. Now, Amelia is healthy and happy, and she looks forward to her regular adjustments. Now, that's a story about someone that is actually getting results in here, but let's dive in on how the body takes things on that makes us sick. Now, that neuroendocrine immune super system is what we're going to be talking about, and we'll do a little graphic here in just a second, or a little drawing. That key to unlocking your child's resilience, it starts with addressing the dysfunction in the nervous system, which is the master control system that regulates all the body's functions. Now, when I say all of that includes the endocrine and immune systems, which interact and play a major role in the way it facilitates an appropriate and effective immune response for your child. And when a child's nervous system gets overstressed, overbeared, and stuck in what we call a sympathetic dominance, it really limits and weakens their immune system in a couple of ways. Number one, it creates tightness and tension in the muscles and soft tissues that create drainage from the ears, the sinus, the lymph nodes, the lungs, just to name a few. It leaves the body in what's called a pro-inflammatory state at all times. And number two, it kicks out excessive cortisol and norepinephrine, which also creates more inflammation and keeps the stress response stuck on the gas pedal. So let's jump into a little drawing to help bring all of this together. This system here, the gut or the GI system, is being connected to the immune system. And you may have heard something like 60, 70, 80% of our immune system is actually located in our gut and tied to our microbiome. You may have learned things like leaky gut and how you've got to get that better. You've learned about even something called the gut-brain connection, and how when your kiddo's inflamed, it can mess up their behavior, their sensory, their spectrum, their ADHD, their anxiety challenges. And that's actually totally true. But because there's one master control system that is actually more foundational than even the gut immune connection, and that's the connection between the nervous system. You may hear us talk about things like the central and autonomic nervous systems together and simultaneously. And really, when we talk about both of those things together, it's meaning that the nervous system is the central processor for all the major organs and functions of the body. Every single cell is controlled and coordinated by the central and autonomic nervous system. And so this connection right here, these arrows are actually the endocrine system. So the way that the nervous system communicates with the digestive system and vice versa, and the way that the nervous system communicates with the immune system is via neurotransmitters and hormones through that endocrine system. And so what medicine has studied to try and find how allergies and the autoimmune issues come together is they've looked almost in this box, almost exclusively in this box here. They've looked and tried to understand the connections on how it all works. They've tried to manipulate the chemistry to improve its function. They try and stuff things down and basically shut inflammation down. They don't really get to the root cause of why the inflammation is running out of control, but they just stuff it down. Now, here's the other side of things. You've got natural health. So let's get into that. We're going to make that green. That's a nice, healthy color. We're thinking plants. We're thinking going outside. We're thinking good. The world has gone here, right? And they've said, all right, well, the immune system is better. We actually need to get the gut better. And they're absolutely right. If you can get the gut right, it can help the immune system. They're absolutely spot on. But they're missing the most important, the most overlooked system, period. It's the connection between the nervous system and the endocrine system, and the nervous system and the digestive system, and the nervous system and the immune system. And so what happens is that for so many kids, the neuroendocrine immune system dysregulation actually got kicked in way early in life due to what we call the perfect storm concept. The most overlooked trigger of chronic illness in kids is set in motion by birth trauma and interventions like C-section, forceps, vacuum extraction, and more. The intense pulling and twisting and strain of the delicate nerves and muscles in an infant's neck and spine is creating misalignments called subluxation that can then shift that nervous system into a sympathetic dominance, fight or flight mode. Then there's the early exposure to antibiotics and toxins that then finishes the job. And for so many kids that are in their early struggles of things like colic, reflux, constipation, eczema, congestion, lead to an early exposure of medications like antibiotics, like steroids, like inhalers, Miralax, and so forth, which then further disrupt the body's function and weaken the child's immune system by stuffing that down, like we talked about before in the video, or the little drawing. Then throw in the compounding effects like poor nutrition, toxins and chemicals in so many foods and household products and things like that. And our kids today don't really have much chance to be healthy. Fortunately, there's a way to press the reset button on your child's neuroimmune system and get it functioning strong and healthy and optimally again. So to help your family do just that, we've made an entire Kick the Sick and Raising Healthy Kids Naturally playbook. And to help you learn the step-by-step strategies that thousands of other families are taking to actually get their kids strong, get them healthy and resilient without drugs and medications. If you want this help for your child and need a copy of that Kick the Sick and Raising Healthy Kids Naturally, super convenient, just send us a text. Text Kick the Sick to us here at Live Better Chiropractic at 815-590-5483. That's Kick the Sick. Text that here to our phone number, 815-590-5483.